Hey guys, welcome to another full body yoga stretch with Arrivé Yoga. Today we're focusing on nourishing the entire body, mind, spirit, whatever it is that you need nourishing. We're gonna go fairly easy today. So get ready, bring some water, some blocks, some blankets, whatever you need to get nice and cozy. Press that little pause button and get ready to let go and to nourish everything that belongs to you. Get a cozy spot and I'll meet you on the mat. And bring yourself either cross-legged or one heel in front of the other, whatever is most comfortable for you. Bringing the hands on top of the knees, closing the eyes, and then just scoop the chest back a little bit so that you can really allow yourself to kind of get that chill out mood. Extending the spine softly without too much strain in the lower abdomen. Breathing in here. And just let the breath fall out through the mouth as you exhale, letting the shoulders become heavy, relaxing the eyes and the face. And we're just going to gradually, throughout our class today, allow ourselves to arrive to that state of calm. So no need to push it, no need to rush. Allow yourself to let go of the day so far. It's very common that in the beginning of the class, the mind is kind of running in circles. If that's your case today, just let it be, let the thoughts pass through. Give yourself the time. Deep breath in through the lower belly. And exhaling out through the mouth with a sigh. Softly lifting the corners of your mouth for a very gentle smile. Recalibrating the mind and body connection and telling our body, we're now going to be happy. We're now going to enjoy this moment. Relaxing the jaw, relaxing the forehead and the eyes. Breathing into that lower belly. And then exhaling out, let the shoulders become heavy. Inhale, reaching the arms up towards the sky, fingertips towards the sky, breathing in. And then exhale, right hand comes down, and we're gonna lean over to the left. Deep breath in. Exhale, deepen. And then go ahead and just make an L shape with your arm and try to open up a little bit more on the inhale. And then exhale, coming forward just a little bit. So you're getting the front abdomen and the back. Nice little stretch, breathing in. Exhaling out. Relaxing the jaw, the throat, and the neck area. One last breath. And then exhale, coming all the way down forward, all the way to center, and we're going to walk it all the way to the left. Inhale, right arm reaches up, nice and straight, breathing in. Exhale, deepen, feel that nice release in the side body and the hips. Inhaling in. Exhaling out, releasing that tension in the shoulders and the neck area. Time to let go. Inhale, bending L shape. Open up. Exhale, softly, just a little bit forward. Inhale, opening up with that nourishing breath. Imagine that you can send that nourishing breath to every cell in your body, starting from the skin all the way through the muscles, the bones, the tendons. Every single part of your body is getting nourished with that beautiful breath. Inhale, open. And then exhale back to center, all the way to the front. And then extend the arms as far forward as you can without putting too much strain and muscle here. Just let the body fall forward. Couple breaths here. Let the head become heavy. Exhaling out. Inhale, slowly bring the arms back in. And we're just going to even out the hips here. Go ahead and just switch the legs. Bring the opposite one out in front. Inhale, reaching up. And one last time to center. Try to root your sit bones softly into the ground. And again here, let the body weight fall, let the head become heavy. Relaxing the jaw, relaxing the tongue and the throat, letting go. Feel the body expand with the inhale and allow yourself to let go with the exhale. Inhale back to center, slowly rise back up. If you're sitting on something, go ahead and remove it to the side, not too far away from you. And then slowly bring yourself into a tabletop position. Hands below the shoulders. And then we're just going to do a few cat-cows here, but feel free to do some rotation, some figure 8 shapes. Feel free to rotate the feet and the ankles here, maybe the neck and the shoulders. Just make this one unique to what you need today. Try to search with your breath and your concentration where you're holding a little bit more tension. Reaching deep with your breath and letting go with the exhale. You can even make full circles, bringing the hips forward and then all the way back to the heels if that feels good. Curling the toes under and getting a deeper stretch in the feet as you bring the hips back. This is that moment where we're just creating that flow. We're allowing the body to just move as it wishes. A little reminder to integrate the breath with the movement. Relaxing the jaw and all the muscles in your face. We're going to do 3 more breaths. Awesome. And coming back to center. This can be a bit of a challenging position and can even sometimes bring up frustrations or emotions. So just try to be very patient with yourself. If you need a block to sit on, go ahead and grab one as well. You'll know very quickly if you'll want one. Curl the toes under, big toe to that little toe. And then we're gonna bring so that you're sitting onto your heels. One thing I also sometimes like to do, if I don't want to sit on the block, I sometimes also bring the blocks next to me so that I just bring a little bit of pressure on my arms. We're gonna get a deep, deep stretch in the toes and in the back of the feet here. Breathing in, exhaling out. Awesome. Looked like a magic trick. Yoga block, bam! Awesome. And the knees are hip width apart. And then really, as I said, be patient here with yourself. Take some deep breaths. And if there's discomfort or frustration or whatnot, breathe into it. If there's sharp pain, come out of the position a little bit. Closing the eyes. Focus on letting go. Breathing deep into the calves, the shins, the ankles, and the feet. Letting go. One more breath here. And exhale, slowly walk it forward. Very gradually, just let the toes come back to normal. And as it feels comfortable, start to squeeze and point the feet, moving very slowly. Rotating the ankles, taking a deep breath in here. And then bring the tops of your feet to the ground, and then just bring yourself back to sit onto your heels. And just take a moment to notice what's going on in the feet, how you're feeling. And if this is already a stretch for you, keep it here. And if you want to go a little bit further, just start to walk the hands back. You can also use the blocks if you need to bring the floor up to you. Breathing in here, rolling the shoulders down and back, and then push away with the hands, breathing in. If this is your limit and you feel good here, stay here. If you want to take it a bit further, softly just lift the knees up towards the sky to get a deeper stretch in the front ankles. Just like the last one we did, this can also become challenging, so pay attention to your body. Give yourself a loving challenge without going too far. Breathing in. And exhale, slowly drop the knees and then bring it forward. Bring the big toes to touch and knees mat width apart, and then walk the hands forward for extended child's pose. Breathe in here and then exhale, fully release forehead to the ground. Rolling the head side to side if you wish for a little massage. Allowing the hips to become heavy, allowing the chest to be heavy, and just scanning the body. Notice where you're holding tension. Take a deep breath into that area, and then just let go completely. We'll be here for a few breaths, so allow yourself to settle in here. Relaxing the jaw. Sending the breath to the lower belly. Feel that expansion. Letting go. We're going to have 3 more deep breaths here. Awesome. Inhale, slowly rise back up. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders and knees underneath the hips and the feet to follow in the back. Feel free to rotate the feet and the ankles and the hips and shoulders if you feel you just need a little bit of movement here. Breathing in. And then we're going to go and bring ourselves down onto our bellies, and we're going to go into a deep shoulder stretch. So I invite you guys to bend the arm into an L shape. So the elbow is right aligned with your shoulder, and then just walk it up a little bit further up. So the elbow becomes a little bit higher than the shoulder. And we're going to go into an easy one this time. So go ahead and start to push with your left hand just to come onto the side and bend the knees so that you're laying on the side. So you'll feel that deep stretch in the shoulder without having to hold. I'm going to do my left side just so that I can show you guys better from this. So right here I'm feeling that deep stretch in that front left shoulder on the other side. And I'm just softly resting my right arm on the ground just so that it kind of gives a bit of a, kind of like a kickstand on a bike. A little bit of support without pushing, without straining. The knees are bent. And then I'm going to bring my concentration onto that left shoulder and gradually release and let go. Relaxing all the muscles in the face. Deep breath in, letting go. I want to feel a deep stretch here, but I also don't want to go too far to where I'm tensing up my body. I want to be able to completely relax the body here and enjoy the stretch. Two more deep breaths. Awesome. And on your next exhale, slowly extend your legs out first. Try not to put too much pressure on that your right arm. And then bring yourself back to center. Take a moment here in center to maybe move the arms around very slowly, just to get that blood flow back in, to notice what's going on, make it feel good. And then when you feel ready, bring it over to the other side. So for you guys, it'll be the left arm. Deep breaths. Try to let your thoughts for later and allow yourself to focus on letting go and focus on the breath. Relaxing all the muscles in the face. Relaxing the neck and the shoulders. Letting go. Three more breaths here. And on your next exhale, bring it back to center, extending the legs. Slowly back to center. And this time bring the forehead to the ground. And then go ahead and slowly move the arms around. And getting that centered feeling back, getting the blood flow back into the arms. And then just rest the palms at the top of your mat, stacked on top of each other. And rest the forehead down for a minute. Softly swaying the hips left and right just to release any tension in the lower back or the hips here. Try to rest the chest and the head down, relaxing the shoulders, breathing in. And exhale to stillness. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, curl the toes under. Bend the knees, slowly coming up, then all the way back, and then up into a downward facing dog. Really use this time here to stretch the whole back side of the body, bending one leg, straightening the other. Maybe bending both knees and dropping the chest, releasing the head. Just like we did with our cat-cow, use this one to be unique to what you need today. Deep breaths, relaxing the jaw, the eyes, letting go. Go ahead and plant your left heel down into the ground. Right leg rises up, bend that right knee, and then drop it over to the left, feeling that deep opening in that right hip. Dropping the chest, breathing in. And then exhale back to center, extend that right leg straight, and then bring it forward, bending the knee, pigeon pose. Feel free to bring your blocks, your blankets, your pillows for a little bit of support underneath that right hip, and a block for your forehead if you need. And just take your time here to adjust. Breathing in, soft flex in that leg of that bent leg. And just taking a few breaths here, and whenever you feel ready and you want to, bring it down, And if that doesn't feel good for you today, you can also stay up, whichever you prefer. Breathing in. And just bring the breath and the focus into that right hip. And letting go with every exhale. Deeper and deeper. If you decided to set an intention for your practice today, maybe circle back to it, or just use this time to create a new one if you wish. Let your whole body be heavy. Let the breath circulate through the entire body. Three more deep breaths here. And on the next exhale, slowly rise back up. We're going to stay in this position and get a bit more of a deeper stretch on that left side. So either, sorry, got a little bug in my mouth. So either if this is a deep stretch for your left front thigh here, keep it here, thinking to extend the spine tall first and then try to get an equal bend so you're not just crunching in the lower back here. If this is your limit, stay here. If you want to take it a bit further, go ahead and bend that left leg, plant your left hand into the ground, and then reach back. And then start to pull that towards your thigh. Again, we want an easy challenge. We won't want to take it too far today. Breathing in here, let the hips be heavy. One last breath. Exhale, slowly release that leg and then drop it down. Curl the back toes under, lift the hips up slowly, and then gradually bring that right leg back. It'll feel tight, and go ahead and just start moving that right leg, making circles with the hips, taking your time, find what feels right for you today. Eventually making your way into a full down dog, walking out the legs a little bit further, listening to your body, taking the time that you need. Reminder to integrate the breath with every movement. And when you're ready, plant that right heel down into the ground, left leg comes up, bend the knee, and drop it over towards the right, lifting that knee up to the sky, squeezing the heel towards your buttocks, breathing in. Exhale to center, and bring it over to the other side. Bending that left knee, grabbing the support and anything that you need. And just a little friendly reminder, every side is different, so adjust yourself to this side as you need. For me, my left side is always way tighter. I need almost double support. Breathing in here. Moving at your speed whenever you're ready. Bring it down if you wish. Big loving breaths here, nourishing your body, nourishing your mind, nourishing the thoughts that pass through your mind. Keep allowing a continuous flow of deep breaths. Relaxing the jaw, relaxing all the muscles in the body. Three more deep, full breaths here. On the next exhale, we're going to slowly rise up. Staying present, trying not to rush ahead mentally or physically to the next position. And depending on what you did on the other side, go ahead and provide that same position, even though the flexibility might be different. Dropping the hips, breathing in. Deep breath here. Exhale, slowly release that leg, curling the toes under, lifting the hips up, and we're gradually going to bring that left leg back. Again, creating nice little movements, getting that blood flow back into that left hip. Making your way, when it feels right for you, into your down dog, walking out the legs. No need to rush, take your time. And then go ahead and bring the feet so that they're mat width apart in your down dog. You're going to bend the knees just a little bit, lift the heels, and then lift the tailbone up towards the sky. And drop the hips down, let the head become heavy. Inhaling, we're bending the knees, and then on the exhale, you're going to straighten the legs. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, straighten the legs. Couple more rounds. Inhale, last one, bend the knees. Exhale, straighten. And then go ahead and start to walk the hands towards your feet. And then just bring the toes out so that they're sticking out and the knees out. We're going to go into our frog pose. Go ahead and bring the elbows to the inner knees. Try to plant the sit bone down towards the ground, straightening the spine as best as you can. Bring that gaze forward and just taking a few deep breaths here. And as best as you can, try to relax the pelvic floor. Try to relax the lower abdomen, creating space and release. And as always, relaxing all the muscles in your face. The jaw, the neck, and the shoulders, breathing in. Lifting the corners of your mouth for a little smile. Awesome. Slowly release the hands back down to the ground. Gradually lift the hips back up, heel toe your feet so that they're back hip width apart, and then just bend one leg, straighten the other, moving the hips side to side, kind of how we do in our down dog, but in a forward fold. Coming to center, bend the knees, engage the glutes, push through the heels, and then roll vertebrae by vertebrae all the way up into standing. Deep breath in, reaching up, soft bend in the back. And then exhale, bring the hands together to chest, taking a moment here to notice what's going on in the neck. And maybe making a few soft rotations using your breath. Notice if you're tensing in the knees by overextending, and just create a micro bend in the knees. Relaxing the hips, relaxing your body into your hips, breathing in here. Awesome. And go ahead, walk to the top of your mat. We're just going to do one final balancing pose before we go into our shavasana. So I'm just going to face you guys here. Go ahead and root to rise to the entire left side of your body as if it's one moving part. And feel free to grab your ankle if you need and bring yourself into a tree pose. We want to try to push, the left hip is going to come out to the side, so try to push that left hip back to center, dropping that right hip down, squaring off the hips, and then pushing that right knee out so that you're really opening up here. Tailbone is softly tucked in. Try to notice also the ankle on that left side. Try to rise the inner arch of your foot. We'll be here for a few breaths, so take your time. If you fall, come back up. That's exactly why we're doing this position, building that strength, that balance, and that calm. Awesome job, guys. One more breath. And then exhale, go ahead and release, taking a moment to just shake out that left leg, shaking out the body. Let's actually do just a little wiggle dance move. It's been a while since we haven't done this one. Take it as much as you need. Maybe you want to go strong and shake everything out, or maybe you just want a little flowy movements, whatever feels good for you. Moment of freedom. Enjoy it. Nice job. All right. Whenever you guys are ready, inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to chest, lifting that inner arch in that right foot, root to rise to that whole right side, and then bringing that left leg to that inner thigh. Pushing that right hip back to center, opening up that left knee. And just a couple breaths here. And if you're closer towards your right knee, Try to make sure that you're not pressing too hard into that right leg so you're not causing any future pain into those knees. Try to find maybe a non-moving spot in front of you to keep that focus and that balance on. One more deep breath here. Exhale, slowly release it down, shaking it out. And this is our final moment before we go into our shavasana. So create any stretch, any movement, whatever you feel you need. Maybe you want to do wide-legged fold and stretch the back of the legs. Maybe you want to go straight into shavasana. Whatever you feel. We didn't do many twists today, so if you're feeling that you want to twist a little bit, feel free to do so. Those are just a few of the options. 3 more breaths in whatever stretch you've decided to do. And then on your final and third exhale, gradually bring yourself down onto the floor. Grabbing blankets and pillows if you want to get extra cozy. Laying yourself down onto your back. And as usual in our shavasana, this is that beautiful, magical moment where we do absolutely nothing and we just let our auto body do what it's capable of. To create that balance, to begin to heal what needs healing, just to enjoy the fact that you have full permission to completely let go. Breathing in, full body breath. Scanning the body, fully letting go. Shavasana. And slowly, gradually, allow your attention to come back to the body. Allow your breath to deepen. And start to sway the head from side to side. Slowly moving the hands and the feet, bringing the arms above the head for a little stretch. Taking your time here. Keeping the eyes closed, bend the knees, and come to lay on your side. Noticing how the body feels when it's still and calm. Noticing the breath, how it relaxes the body. And then slowly bring yourself into a seated position. And try to keep the eyes closed for just a few more minutes. Bringing yourself into a seated meditation position. And I invite you guys here to give yourself that loving challenge for any reason whatsoever to not move the body for the next few minutes. To simply allow your focus to be on the breath. To continuously let go of any tension in the body. And to just be. When thoughts begin to wander, come back to focusing on your breath and on the physical body. And on your final breath here, I invite you guys, if you wish, to repeat to yourself internally, deep within inside of me, I have an infinite source of love. And just notice how you feel about that. Notice what emotions, what thoughts arise without judging. Deep within inside of me, I have an infinite source of love. Slowly bringing your hands together to chest. On an inhale, breathing deep. And exhale, dropping the head into a namaste.